Coming to you live from our studio.
That's so funny. I was gonna try to say something funny.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know. COVID-19 headquarters, but that sounds dumb.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
Where's another word? You said
Quarantine Dale.
You
Is that what I said last time?
sequestered last week, but in sequestered like what you do whenever you're in the court or
In
something.
a jury. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Sequestered. So, hey Tammy. So we thought we'd hop on here. We actually have a couple of videos we're making tonight with one for Lakewood's marriage with our some of our leaders, and what else are we doing?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
and I'm reading. So y'all, just so y'all know, this will probably date this video, but for right now, today's April the 5th, 2020. So on our page, our other page, Brighter Marriage, I'm actually reading, this is Pickle Wiggle. So if you have school-age children, like maybe 7 to 11-ish, it's a chapter book, and it doesn't have a lot of pictures, but it's a chapter book, and I'm reading
So I don't
different
get
chapters.
it. She's reading it to me, and I don't understand.
So I'm reading the chapter, so if you need a little break during the corona time right now, maybe at night or during the day if you need to cook something or maybe take a shower and you just your kids are just pulling on you, you could pull the video back up and watch it, and we're going through it. So tonight I'll read chapters 3, maybe 3 and 4, and then I bought some other books that are even smaller children, so I'm going to start reading those also. So that's my contribution. I don't have any little kids at home. We don't have grandkids, so that's my contribution.
That's a good contribution.
Yeah, it is. So, so here we are, and I don't know how many weeks we are into this.
I'm just glad we're not saying, and it's day 976,
Well, Richard and I were talking this morning when we were actually praying this morning, and we were talking about about all of this, and we've been talking, of course, every day. I think it's a conversation for everyone, but one of the things we've been talking about is the good that's going to come out of this. Like maybe people will realize they can work at home. Like maybe a lot of people that never worked at home before, they'll get set up and be able to work at home. And now traffic, because we're in Houston, Texas, if you're watching somewhere other, and traffic will be cut in half because
Yes.
people will go back to working at home.
So we're just putting that out there. Everybody
Yes.
start working at home
Yes.
except me.
Yes,
All
we'll
right.
just start praying about it. I feel like a weird thing.
I mean, I would work at home but in construction, that's kind of hard to do unless I'm building stuff for you.
Well, and right before this all happened, we were just getting to this point of where we were making a transition over from, we were kind of half and half doing our home repair business and doing our speaking and comedy events. We were really making this leap. Like we knew 2020 was the year we were going to be leaping out. We were walking away, even if we had to eat beans, even if we had to struggle with no toilet paper, like we were going to do it. We didn't know how true it was going to become, but we still believe that 2020 is our year. We still believe that the goals and the dreams and the prayers that we are praying are still coming to pass. They just don't look the way that we thought they were going to look.
That's right.
Man,
our faith is just keeping us strong because we believe that now's a time that we really need to press in and go harder. And it's not a time to sit back and wait and talk about all the negative. And if you want, watch the news. You want to know negative, watch the news, and you want to kill yourself by the end of 30 minutes later, 5 minutes later. The news offers no hope. It's just doom and gloom. This is it.
well, they don't get paid for good news.
Right. So, I don't buy into all of that stuff. I do know that this is very true. This virus is real. People are dying from it, but I also believe that our God has all the answers and that we need to tune to Him when we don't know all the answers.
So that's good, and we have to remain optimistic. We have, if we're going to get through this and we're going to come out stronger. Tough times call for stamina. It calls for endurance. The Bible says that there are going to be tribulations. We're going to have trials, but we're to be of good cheer. So it doesn't say we're just going to be happy because everything's happy and everything in our life is great and that's when we're joyful. That the world is watching us. Are we being joyful even through the tough times? We have to be, because life is coming at you, and not just the corona, but anything in life, whether it's, just different things in life happen. We lose jobs, we have parents pass away, people get sick, divorces, things happen. We have to stay strong. We have to have endurance. We have to, tough times calls for tough measures, we have to remain optimistic. And I love what Pastor Joel, we go to Lakewood Church, and Joel Osteen is our pastor. And one of the message that he preached this morning was so great, so relevant for right now. And he talked about the 80% of the people that are the gloom and doom. It's the 20% of the people that are going to come out of this differently. They're going to come out of this stronger because they had a different mindset. Because it really is all between those 6 inches between your ears,
or 8 between mine. I have such a huge brain.
But you've lost a lot of weight, so it's probably smaller.
Probably.
Yeah, he got on the scale yesterday and he's lost 50 pounds.
Finally, it stopped going one person at a time. It used to, I'd step on the scale and say, 1 person at a time, please. So now it's actually registering.
That's pretty funny.
It's actually registering now. So
yeah, that's exciting. So I bought him some new clothes. We don't have anywhere. Look, he still has the tag on it. I just saw that. He still has the tag on it.
Like Minnie Pearl, but
nobody would know.
Be like, who's Minnie Pearl?
So I bought him some stuff, but we don't have anywhere to wear it right now, so that's why I'm doing videos, so we can just get on here and you can wear. Hopefully, it won't all be out of style by the time we get back in normal.
I rebuke that. It's not. It can be fresh.
Yes.
And exciting.
Yeah. New. I think everybody can wear what they wore last year. It won't even matter.
Right. It's been so long since we've seen you in it.
It won't matter. But we need to keep. And what else I was thinking is, it's like we're not even like summertime. Just kind of the heat's going to come and go, and it's going to be time to wear boots and jeans again. And I'm going to be so happy because it's my favorite time of year. So. That's a blessing right there for me. But so during this time is to keep moving forward. We have to keep putting one foot in front of the other. If we're going to keep good cheer and if we're going to stay joyful, we have to keep moving. We have to set goals. Even if you're at home and you're like, well, the sky is falling and I've lost my job, we need to set daily goals. Especially during a time if you're not working right now and you don't have every minute of your day planned.
That's really good that you said to set goals, because we're going to come out of this. Mm-hmm. Now you have the choice, or we have the choice, to come out of this better and ahead, or worse and further gone. Especially in marriage, we have the choice to, hey, you know what? We, on a scale of 1 to 10, our marriage is a -5 right now. What can we do? How can we help each other in this time of confinement to work through some things and to truly get on at least a different page, so that we're not hating or disappointed or angry with each other? Because we've been told from an attorney friend of ours today that divorce attorneys don't know, they're going crazy with phone calls right now. And another friend of ours who works in the hospital said that abuse is going up higher as well. And man, we got to stop that, guys. This is not what life is about. I mean, life is about working through our issues and our problems to be able to get to the other side.
Well, one of the things that you hear a lot right now, people are talking about learning new skills and learning and doing new things. How about, if your marriage isn't in a good place, how about doing a new thing? How about spend some time talking to your spouse? How about working some things out? How about taking the gloves off and saying, you know what? Maybe this all happened because God is telling us something and He's wanting to get our attention, and now we have the time to talk to one another and to work through this stuff. And so some of that is, like we said, to make daily goals, whether it's just make a goal. If you have a job, make one goal for your job. If you don't have a job, what's one goal that you would want to have a different job, or what that looks like when this is all over with? What's something that you can do? One thing for your family. One thing you can do nice for your family each day, a part of the goals. One thing you can do to improve your home. Doesn't mean you got to spend money. Maybe you rearrange the furniture in one of the rooms. That speaks volumes, especially to women. I think it's when we get just a new perspective. It's sometimes just moving the furniture around in a room and maybe taking some art out of one room and maybe some knickknacks and putting them in a different room and just changing some stuff up. Like, they don't have to go necessarily, that rug could go in a different room, but do something that keeps it going, that keeps you moving forward, that gives you, just new things to look forward to. One thing that you can do, also one thing a day, is to do something to feed your spirit. Reading the Word, praying, just something, alone time, meditating on the word, time that you need to be able to feed
Right.
your spirit.
God, what are you trying to teach me right now?
Yeah.
What lessons do I need to learn in this? You know, we have to remember this too, guys, because at one point in time, no matter where you are in your marriage, you figured you married the right one. This one was the right one. Did you know, though, that we can marry the right person and treat them wrong and they become the wrong person? But on the flip side, we can marry the wrong person and treat them right, and they become the right person. Yeah. So it's all perspective, and we do it to each other, and we can only step up and take responsibility for what we're doing and what we have done. I can't make Sherry change. I can't make her what I think she needs to be. All I can do is come and say, hey, you know what? As a husband, as a father, as a man, as a friend, I've dropped the ball. I have failed in this area, this area, this area. I'm sorry this happened. And we have done this. This has happened. We talked years and years ago. So we're on the other side. We've made it up to the top, pushing the snowball up the mountain. And now is just just as it seems like you're going down, there's another mountain, the coronavirus. And now we're pushing a different snowball up the mountain. But you know what? We're doing it together. Yeah. So everything that we're doing, we're on the same page. We're in complete agreement. And there's no strife. There's no arguing. And do we still have friction? Yeah. The other day,
get on each other's nerves.
Yeah. The other day, she's all like, "Well, maybe I'll get the coronavirus and die." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, not if I get the coronavirus and die first." So it happens to us too. We're not on there saying like, "Oh, look at us. Just come here,
unicorns and
it's just gonna be so perfect." That's not marriage, man. Marriage is giving and taking and working through issues. Some days it's going to be great for me and I'm going to be so happy, and then some days I'm going to be bummed out, but she's going to be great. She's going to be
we have to keep pulling each other up, and we can't camp there. It's okay to grieve right now. It's okay to hurt right now. We're going through some stuff. It's reality. But we understand the facts are the facts, but we don't have to camp there. We don't have to stay there. We need to be able to uplift. We need to find the word, find scripture to stand on and speak that back. When the enemy starts coming into your mind and starts talking smack to you, that's when you need to be saying, I rebuke that. You just start praying the word of God back to them.
That's right.
The Bible says, like I said, to be of good cheer. We have to, we're going to go through stuff, but we got to keep smiling. The world is watching us. They're wanting to see, what are those crazy Christians going to do when things aren't so great? This is the time. So that we need to be that 20% of the world that is going to come out of this on top and stronger. Because let me just say that when you're that 80%, if you're the negative, if you're staying in negativity, that is going to increase your stress. We're trying to stay healthy during this time. Not only are we not worried about germs getting on us, we need to have our immune system needs to be strong. Like, we need to be taking care of ourselves. We need to be getting outside and getting some sunshine. We need to be walking around the block. That negativity will get inside of you like a cancer and will eat you. You've got to stay positive. Speak the word back. What do you say? Speak the word back to the nega smack, or maybe mega smack. That's pretty funny. Focus on what you do have. If you sit there and think of the things that you have, instead of thinking what we don't have or what could happen, and we're looking at this big picture in a negative way, let's look at the big picture in a positive way. We had the internet. I was just telling someone today, what if this had happened 30 years ago and we'd have no way to communicate? We've been waiting for the newspaper to come out. It would be, I guess we have television, but what if it weren't the way that it is now? We have good things. We have good health. Most of us are healthy right now. We have family. We have each other.
And we have to realize that when we're working through issues that, we did the XO Live the other night with Pastor Jimmy Evans out of Dallas and Dave and Ashley Willis, and they were talking about marriage and issues, and I commented on there that the reason that we have issues is because we want it resolved the way we want it resolved, and to us it might seem right, but when our spouse does it the wrong way, but they could be doing it in a way that it seems right to them. We have to be doing it God's way. What does God say about our marriage? How are we able to talk to one another with respect and honor? And so many times I was the intimidator of the relationship. So if she wanted to bring something up and talk about it, I would just go off and just go so crazy, right? And get so angry to intimidate her to never bring that. I wasn't saying, look, but in subconsciously what I was saying is, whenever you bring this up, this is how I'm going to react. So don't ever bring that. You know what to expect, which makes her the internalizer. Yeah. So she's an internalizer. So she's just taking it in, and then one day, this might be familiar with you. You forget to fill the salt shaker or put your dirty socks up, and the other person just loses it, and you're like, wow, where did that come from? And it comes from all these unresolved issues and this resentment that has been pushed down on one of us in the relationship, right? So these are things that you can talk about to be able to overcome.
That's good. So focusing on what we do have, focusing on the fact that we have this time with each other to work on our marriages. And if you're single and you're watching this, you're like, well, I don't have someone with me right now. You know what? We have the Holy Spirit. We have God. This is a time to just get our relationship with God even stronger. He's closer to us than a brother. He's like our daddy. He's our father. We can go to him. We need to press into our friends. Maybe you just have one friend from work, or maybe in your church group, but stay connected. We just got off a Zoom call with our volunteers for our marriage class at our church, and just talked with them, just touch base. We didn't have an agenda. We just were talking, what we're cooking and what we're making. But there was like 25 of us on there, just connecting with one another, encouraging each other. If you have a friend that's every time you talk to them it's doom and gloom, don't go down that road with them. You be the one to be the thermostat. Change that. You can't. And if that's somebody that is pulling you down every time, maybe you need to cut those conversations out. Find someone who's going to speak life into this stuff. This is not a threat that's happening to us. We need to view this as a challenge and an opportunity.
That's good.
Yeah, we saw a meme the other day that said, if you don't come out of this with a new skill, a new side hustle, and I think your house organized, it wasn't that time was your problem, it was you had a discipline problem. So now we have the time to do stuff, let's do something different. It doesn't have to be just a stressful every day, we got to be doing all these projects, but do something a little bit every day.
Let's not let pride get so big. Pride is the number one reason people get divorced. Anybody who's been divorced, there's a pride issue. Now, I'm not saying that there hasn't been infidelity and things that we need to work through, or abuse. Abuse is never any case to stick around and say, oh no, stick in an abusive relationship and y'all figure it out. No, that's not what we're saying. And if you're in an abusive relationship, get out. All right, that's what you need to do first, because it doesn't get worse. It doesn't get better. It only gets worse. It's a tier, But we just want you guys to be counseled by God and not by Satan, right? And if we are fighting with our spouse, arguing with our spouse, can't see eye to eye, then we're being counseled by the wrong counselor, okay? So let's just, the center of pride is I.
So we want you guys to be of good cheer. This is the time, like I said, look at the big picture. What have you always wanted to do? What is it, something that you've always wanted to learn, something that when all this is over, that you realize that, I've been too busy. We've been working. Why are we working 2 jobs, working so hard for our family? We don't get to see our kids. We don't have time for each other. Maybe this is the time to start putting things in place so that you can take that leap when this is over. Believe me, we're doing the same thing. We're realizing that, we really want to be doing marriage stuff and do comedy full time. We're doing the things behind the scenes right now to make that happen. We don't have events. There's a lot of things that canceled on us, huge things that we had for this year. We don't have that money coming in, but we know that God is our source, not other people. Do a couple of no-brainer things, maybe like watch some cheap entertainment, watch TV, take some time for yourself. Do some puzzles.
Read Mrs. Pigglewick.
Have a game night, maybe play a video game. You need to also have some downtime too. Some
naked twister.
Oh, gosh.
Some things you just can't unsee.
And like we said earlier, make sure you're getting outside, stretch, walk, and get some sunshine. We need some of that vitamin D right now, but we need to just to be of good cheer. Tough times, like we said, calls for stamina and endurance. I hope you'll go back and listen to this video if you're just tuned in, but we just want you guys to be of good cheer. We're going to get through this. We're going to come out stronger and better and more united. Remember, there is unity. There is power in unity when you're together as a couple. When you are in complete agreement about things, that's where the power is.
Unity will change your life, your marriage, your kids, your finances, everything. Unity will change everything.
Yeah, so stay optimistic. We love you guys. Please share our videos. We're actually started a new page called Brighter Marriage because it was kind of confusing with our comedy stuff and our speaking
This
and our.
This is the right page, right?
This is the Real Brights, but we have a new page. We're going to start putting the videos over on there slowly but surely, just kind of putting them over there. We also have a YouTube channel called The Real Brights. So we ask that you guys share our videos on Facebook, share them on YouTube. If you go to text on your phone, right? If you text Bright, BRIGHT, to 66866, then we'll send you the link for the YouTube channel. We'll send you some free videos. We have a book coming out. There's like a lot of cool things, and we can stay connected that way. So please share our videos. We love you guys. If you have any topics that you want us to cover that are relevant to what's happening right now, please send us a private message or put it in the comments below. We love you guys. Right?
Deuces.
We're praying for y'all, and we're going to get through this, and we're coming out stronger. Peace.